Hello Year 5, welcome back to our next instalment of Floodland. We are on part 16, which if you are following along in the book is page 900, 101, I think page 102. So we're up to After and chapter 1 of After. So all content in the video is owned by Marcus Sedgwick. We've only got 2 chapters left, so let's find out what happens. So in the last chapter, she was the boat capsized, and she could feel herself slipping away, and she thought she was going to die. So she decided to give up. But at the end of the chapter, she was found, and she could see the light from an electric torch. So she realised that she was on land. Okay. Hello, give her time. She'll be all right. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Zoe opened her eyes. 2 women were standing over her, peering at her. There, see, said one of them. You're all right, dear. You're safe now. Zoe noticed she was in a bed, a proper bed. Not exactly clean, but nothing like on Eels Island. She was in a white room with a single window that let in a fierce bright sunlight. She thought she could hear the sea somewhere not far off. She sat up. Where am I? The older of the 2 women laughed gently. That's what they all say, the other one said. You're safe now, my dear. I'm Rosie and this is Mary. Rosie waited for Zoe to say something. She didn't. What's your name, dear? Rosie asked. Zoe, she said blankly. She was having trouble remembering everything. Don't worry, Zoe. You're all right now. But what happened? Some of our fishermen found you. You were half drowned. Found you in the shallows 3 nights ago. You've been very lucky. Zoe was still confused. She tried to think, to remember, but her thoughts came slowly and then only with a lot of effort, but she was somewhere safe, with kind people looking after her. Bits and pieces started to come back into her mind. Is this Golgonooza? She asked. Rosie and Mary looked at each other. Zoe saw Rosie raise an eyebrow ever so slightly. Never heard of it, love, Mary said brightly. This is Hope. It's a bit west of what used to be Cambridge. But William said... She stopped. The thought of William made her think of someone else. Munchkin. Did they find... Is Munchkin all right? Munchkin? Asked Rosie. That boy, you know, said Mary to Rosie, then turning back to Zoe. Such a funny name. Yes, he's fine, love. He's been asking after you every 5 minutes. He's your friend, isn't he? Zoe thought for a moment. Yes, she said. He's my friend. Rosie left to tell the doctor she was awake. When she returned, she brought the doctor, a huge man with a serious face, but she brought someone else too. Munchkin, look at you. He shuffled in behind the huge doctor, looking smaller than ever, but dressed in some new clothes. He looked ridiculous somehow. Are you all right? He asked. Zoe nodded. She's only just all right, interrupted the doctor. Beats me why she isn't dead. Both of you come to that. Munchkin shrank back, but sat himself on the end of the bed quietly. Where have you come from? Asked the doctor as he examined Zoe. Norwich, said Zoe. Norwich? He looked amazed. You're either very lucky or very clever. Probably both. We've had no one coming from Norwich since the last rescue ship. Zoe's heart immediately started at this. They must have been on that ship. Who? My parents? I'm looking for my parents. They came off Norwich on the last ship. I think you must be confused, Zoe. That was nearly a year ago. No, you don't understand. They were on that boat. They must have been. Black. Rob and Kathy Black. Have you heard of them? All 3 said nothing. The doctor shook his head. I'm sorry. But you must have, said Zoe. My mum was ill. She would have been in here. You must have treated her. Don't upset yourself, dear, said Rosie. No, listen. Zoe, said the doctor, try to understand. When that last boat came in, things were really bad. We're better organised now. We try and keep a record of everything and everyone passing through. There's lots of people looking for people, asking for people, you know. But it was a bad time, a lot of disease, and there was just too much chaos to cope with. So they could have been on that boat then, said Zoe, her hopes rising again. Just because you don't remember them doesn't mean that they weren't there. Yes, but Zoe, you should know, that ship, they had a really terrible journey. Lots of them didn't make it. There was a lot of disease. They had to stop at some little island. What I'm saying is, don't hope too much. Zoe ignored him. But the people who did make it, where are they? Are they here? No, we were too full here. I'm afraid I don't know where they went. Zoe had to ask him something. Isn't there somewhere called Golgonooza around here? Have you heard of a place called that? The doctor gave her the same blank look that Rosie and Mary had. Zoe's heart sank. She wanted to believe everything William had told her. Everyone who came in off that last boat went up to new home. More houses there, you see, said Rosie, trying to be helpful. My Billy took them up in his cart. He did 10 trips there and back. That's enough for now, Zoe. You need to rest. No, I want to go to new home. I've got to. Not now, Zoe. Listen to the doctor, dear. We'll talk about it tomorrow. They left, ushering Munchkin out with them. Zoe stared at the window, too weak to protest anymore. She sank back into the soft pillow and went to sleep, dreaming of the sea. A little while later, Zoe was disturbed by a scratching at her window. It sounded like a rat scrabbling around outside. Then a small hand appeared and pushed the window wide open. It was followed by an arm, and the arm was followed by the rest of Munchkin. "Munchkin!" laughed Zoe. They wouldn't let me in. He smiled. "I'm glad you didn't take any notice." He smiled some more. "So where are we going then?" he asked. "What way?" "To this new home place to find your parents." Zoe looked at Munchkin. I don't know," she said at last. "What? The doctor's right. They're probably..." She couldn't say it, but Munchkin understood. "But you don't know that," he said. "No, but it's like Sarah and Molly said, isn't it?" said Zoe bitterly. "Don't take any notice of them." "Well, why else didn't they come and get me?" Zoe yelled at Munchkin. "Shh, they'll throw me out if..." "It just doesn't make sense any other way," Zoe said angrily, but she kept her voice down. "They said we were found by fishermen. Fishing means boats, right?" "Yeah, but... so if they've got boats here, why didn't they use one of them to come and find me?" "Zoe, they've only got 2 little boats here. I've been asking around. They need them for fishing all the time, or there wouldn't be enough to feed everyone. They don't let anyone use them for anything else. They'd have found a way if they'd been here," she said. Munchkin didn't say anything for a long time. Finally, when he was sure that Zoe was ready to hear what he was saying, he spoke. "Zoe, how can you ever be happy until you know for sure? One way or another, you must find out. You've come all this way. You can't give up now." Zoe was silent. Munchkin could see a tear rolling down her face. Then she looked up. "But I don't even know where New Home is." "I do," Munchkin said, grinning. "I've been asking around. It's further up the coast." Zoe sighed. "What would I do without you?" she said, her face brightening. Munchkin shrugged. "Let's get going," he said. "They won't let you out for days." "How do you know?" asked Zoe. "I've been asking around." Zoe laughed. "Listen, Munchkin, you don't have to come," she said. "I've got nowhere else to go," said Munchkin. "But anyway, I want to." We've got 1 chapter left. What do we think Zoe's going to find? Do we think her parents will still be alive? Do we think both of them will be alive? Someone was ill. What do we think? Join us tomorrow for the final chapter.